Well, good evening. We are just so excited, and we want to welcome you to Maryville Cares here in the month of January. And we have two special, wonderful guests here today. I'm really excited to highlight a special partnership that Maryville has with a elementary school that's providing parent support. This is a new project that we have jumped into this year, and our guests here are our leadership at St. Malachy's on Washington Boulevard here in Chicago. So I want to introduce Miss Sue Jolie, who is our principal, and Miss Katheryn, who is our vice principal of the school. And I've really had a chance to get to spend time with them and be in the school providing support for families. Specifically, we've been doing some parent cafes and some other outreach. And so I'm just really grateful that they've taken the time to really highlight all the special things that are going on in St. Malachy's. It really is truly a special place. I always tell them I love visiting the school and spending time with the kids and the families. And so let's hear from them. And, Sue, maybe you can start us out and just share a little bit about your background and, what brought you to St. Malachy's.
Sure. So it's kind of a long story. I'll make it short. But I started out of college on the west side, further west, in the Austin neighborhood. I, at the time, was dating someone, and his aunt taught at Resurrection. So I started there. And then we became, she was a kindergarten teacher, and there was a position in October, so I started when I was 22 years old on the west side of Chicago, and got married, became the other Mrs. Jolie, so it was Mrs. Jolie and Mrs. Jolie teaching kindergarten, so I married her nephew. And then about 5 years after that, the schools were consolidating, as they still are a little bit, and I decided to come to St. Malachy. There was a position available to start a brand new preschool classroom through the Sisters of Mercy. It was a grant that Sister Virginia, Tommy Peacock, had written this grant, and so I was introduced to St. Malachy that way. I was, opening a brand new preschool classroom, which has been amazing because now we have two preschool classrooms for the last 28 years, and so we're able to get more kids into the building. But I've been there for 28 years. I have had many roles over the years. This is the biggest role as principal, and this is my second year. I'm very proud to be the principal of St. Malachy. But kindergarten teacher is my jam, I would say. But I've been, junior high math teacher. I've done a lot at the school. So I've been really lucky to have seen the kids grow up, former students grow up. Like it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Well, and I've seen it in action, both of them playing many different roles and different hats and different situations, and that's the beauty of the culture and the warmth of the school.
Sure.
I've seen it from my own eyes. And so, how about you, Ms. Katheryn? Tell us a little bit about what brought you to
St. Malachy.
St. Malachy.
Let's see, I started out in nonprofit fundraising. I went back to school to get my master's degree. As an English major, I had to figure out what to do with myself. So I taught as a substitute in CPS schools for a couple of years. When I was ready for my own classroom, I interviewed at the Archdiocese and ended up teaching reading and writing to middle schoolers on the southeast side. I love teaching. I really enjoyed it, but I always felt like there was more that I could do for the kids, and that's how I got into administration.
Well, and it's one of the. Well, I'm going to wait for that question,
Okay.
but I really get the sense of my experience at the school that it's about being a team. And so that's why I'm so glad both of you came. But we're going to hold that part because I do think that there's value in understanding what the mission of St. Malachy is and highlighting maybe its rich history. I mean, it's pretty dynamic. So I don't know, who wants to share that one?
I'll share the mission only
Yeah.
because I have written it down.
Okay.
We, the faith community of St. Malachy Catholic School, create a collaboration of love between family and school, in which each person is challenged academically, respected socially, and enriched spiritually. So I think for me, it all rests on that collaboration of love between school and home.
Mm-hmm.
We just had parent-teacher conferences on Friday, and you could see it. It really is a collaboration. The school has been around since 1912.
Wow.
You walk into the building and you just feel the love. I remember my first day when I interviewed 28 years ago. Bridget Miller, who is still at the school, it's magical. It really is a very special place. I don't know what it is about it, but you just kind of feel the love when you're there, and it's really just lovely. It really is.
Excuse me. Can you talk a little bit about understanding that warmth and so forth? What else can you maybe highlight about what's so special? Like, can you give me some examples of the uniqueness in the academics or the after school, or as you've seen things evolve over the years, like when you think of today, what strikes you as something that you're both very proud of in the school?
Yeah, I think the first word that comes to mind when I think of St. Malachy is family. And I think we have so many students that are sending their children there, or even grandparents that are sending their grandchildren there. We have teachers that multiple generations. Our preschool teacher actually went to preschool there. Our preschool assistant has been there for over 30 years, so they actually knew each other before she became a teacher. Like, that is incredible to me. Our gym teacher is the grandson of our wellness teacher. It's really just it's family.
Yeah.
And then you talk about the families that travel from really far away. That we have a family that lives in Aurora. The mom used to be a teacher's assistant many years ago. She has her daughter that attends Malachy. So it's family, and they know each other, and they grew up. A lot of them are alumni. I mean, it's really it's family. It's just family. There's a lot of love, and it's family love.
Mm-hmm. Any highlights that come to mind for you?
I would have to agree. It's a very family-friendly atmosphere. You go into classrooms, they're full of cousins. So it just, there's a warmth. I feel like you can't exactly put your finger on what it is, but when I arrived, I felt right at home, and I have felt like that ever since.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed as we've started to integrate a little bit into the school is that there's an eagerness to always move forward, and also what can we do, what more can we do. And I've just experienced that with the different family activities that go on at the school, and the real commitment to make it nice for the kids. The kindergarten class recently had a special person's day. I know you have a lot of wonderful activities going to be going on for Black History Month coming up. Yes. And so that integration of the social and emotional component along with the academics is very much weaved into, what we've been observing. And let me get to this, is that I've noticed a real spirit of focusing on Team Malachy. And I've seen it on the walls, and it was really highlighted when we did our, you coordinated a Halloween event, Trunk or Treat, and the two of you were a referee. Were you both referees?
We were.
Yes. And it just really hit home for me watching this. And I think it's obviously for the children, but we all know as parents, I believe we're all parents, that you really want your children to go to a place that is going to allow them to feel safe. And that's just a real important aspect of them feeling like they're ready to learn and grow. And so talk to me about this Team Malachy thing.
So a year and a half ago in the summer when I was approached and asked to become principal, it took me several weeks to make that decision because, I'm passionate about teaching, and I never really thought I would go into administration. I like being with the kids. I like that part of it. I'm learning to love being a principal. But I remember laying awake, and throughout my 28 years, we've always had some theme. And I remember thinking, like, I need to come up with a theme that is going to really work. And when I came up with Team Malachy, I was like, I'm not doing this by myself. I can't. There is no way anyone could do this. So that's why I have Katheryn.
Right.
That's why we have Miss Miller, who's been there for 40-some years, and Peggy LeDuc, our business manager, who's been there for 40-some years. I mean, they are what keeps the school alive, and all of our partnerships, obviously, which I'm sure we'll be getting into. But when I started thinking about it, I'm like, all right, well, the kids will buy in because they love basketball, they love football, they love the sports theme. And I think it's really important for kids, especially after COVID, to be able to work together and, and achieve a common goal. And I think in a classroom, that's what teachers want. They want a classroom full of kids that get along and work together and can do group projects without, lots of fighting. So the Team Malachy came to me in the middle of the night one night, I think, and I literally was like, okay, I got the theme, and I think I'm going to say yes. Now that I feel like, because it really is, it is a team effort, and we do our pre-games, my notes home to parents and to the staff every week, and we call it a pre-game because it's kind of leading up for the next week. I mean, we dressed up as referees for Halloween. I think it's very visible in the school that we really are working together, and the kids are too. And they, like I said, they bought into it. So all of our activities have something to do with the team effort.
Do you have any thoughts on that from your perspective?
From my perspective,
Yeah.
I would say that what Sue has said is correct. It's a hard job. And it cannot be done without a lot of people pitching in. We have a very committed staff. We've got a lot of really strong community partnerships. And none of it would be possible without everyone coming together to do it.
Well, and let's talk about that a little bit. Can you share some of the community partnerships? Does that have to do with like sports or tutoring, or what parts of those partnerships can you share?
Of course, we brought a list.
We really don't want to forget anyone because
and they're very important. So
Yes,
let's point them out. That's
Sure,
great.
let's do. We'll start with our faith home, our church, Blessed Maria Gabriela. We have family mass there once a month, and our school masses are held there throughout the year. Big Shoulders Fund supports us through scholarships. We receive coaching for teachers through the University of Chicago. We work with NQC Literacy. Brush Creek is a place where our students go camping in the summer. We've partnered with Maryville Academy.
Yes.
For Parent Cafe, parenting classes, family support.
Yeah, we've got our Holy Cross Parish, which I'm thinking is over 45 years, the connection.
Wow.
Up in Deerfield, and we have a group of Friends of Malachy, I think we call them. They come down. We have a woman that makes baked goods every Wednesday for us, and her husband brings them down. He works with the third graders and kindergartners and tutoring. We've got lovely ladies that are helping with our health initiative, where they organize the caravan to come and get vaccinations for the kids, immunizations. They're next week are doing the hearing and screening vision testing. They do coat drives. They raise money for materials for school supplies at the beginning of the year. The generosity is incredible, and our school would not be around if we didn't have partnerships like this. We connect with Mercy Home Boys and Girls. We have students that go every Thursday, 7th and 8th graders, and 5th and 6th graders as well. No, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. They go to Mercy Home and they have mentors. There's a mentorship program. The kids love it. We have Owls Lacrosse, which actually originated at St. Malachy with one of our preschool teachers that turned gym teacher that decided he was going to start a nonprofit. And so now we have a lacrosse program, and that has spread throughout Chicago. And it's incredible. They come, in fact, one of their coaches was teaching a 7th grade class today. So they come into the building and help with academics, academic coaching as well as lacrosse coaching. It's amazing. Catholic Charities. I mean, we have counseling services through Fran Center. I mean, it's incredible, all of the people that come that make up our team. I mean, there really is, it is a team. Katheryn mentioned we have coaching. We hired Silver Lining Learning this year to help with some coaching we've got a pretty young staff, which is incredible because they're going to continue being at Malachy, and they're going to grow as they learn through Silver Lining Learning and, the other coaching that's offered through Big Shoulders. Superior Chicago Tutoring is our RAMS program at Malachy, where kids that are below the 50th percentile can receive small group instruction for math and reading. It's incredible. We have alumni, our alumni and our donors, all of our friends. It's magical. It's a team effort, and like I said, we would not survive on the West Side if we did not have the help that we do.
Yeah, and I think, in the spirit of how schools, particularly in your roles, is really thinking about not just today, and obviously both of you have to respond to things on a very daily, hourly basis. However, you're also trying to plan for, the years ahead, and, how you can nurture teachers along and really strengthen the school. And that's a unique skill set that you both have that is very powerful when you're thinking about, a strong elementary school on Washington Boulevard that, when you say St. Malachy's, people know the name.
Yeah.
And so that's certainly very special. Anything in regards to your philosophy in terms of academics that you might want to share that you want to highlight? I know that there's a particular curriculum that you use at the school.
Many,
Yeah.
but our association with University of Chicago and Everyday Math, I was actually the junior high math teacher when we adopted that program, and so it's been really interesting to see how that has been successful, because the first year it was not successful. It took a while for the kids to acclimate to it. So that's one of our curriculums. I think my philosophy on teaching, or really a philosophy as a principal, is to make learning fun. I really think kids should want to come to school. In fact, an 8th grader today had a doctor's appointment, and I said, is he coming back? And Mom said, oh yeah, he wants to come back. And I was like, that's so great for me to hear as a principal. An 8th grader, come on, wanting to come back for half a day, and then stay for our after school program. And then I did say to this gentleman, I don't want to hear at the end of the year that you're so tired of listening. So yeah, we do have a lot of fun, and I think that's the most important thing for me, is that kids want to come to school, and they want to learn, because we are lifelong learners, and we want to start that young, so that that continues throughout their life.
Yeah.
One thing that we did not mention that I feel is part of my philosophy is the SEL. We spend a lot of time on SEL, and I think without it, kids can't learn until you are meeting some of those emotional needs. They need so much attention. They need so much attention. Yeah. So I'm really proud that we have invested in our SEL curriculum.
Yeah, and I've had the privilege to hang out with some of the younger in pre-K and kindergarten specifically, and you begin to see how that's being embedded in the brain development going on at that young age. I was telling someone the other day that really this is the future of the school. So you really want to put your attention there, because then that's going to sort of lay the foundation for future learning. And That's why I love, at parent cafes, the kids are kids are always the best.
Oh,
The
yeah.
parents are too, of course. But, the kids come and, they're ready to eat dinner, but they are very eager to do whatever, little activities we have for them. So it's really quite nice. And I just have to ask, I know this is a time where you're looking to the next year. And so how would somebody find out about the school? Like, what's the best way to reach out to you? Is it through the website? Do you want to share maybe the website with
Sure.
our listeners?
We just revamped it. It's beautiful. So check us out. We've got great pictures of our students, lots of family pictures where we've got a preschooler and a 5th grader and a 7th grader families. It's really lovely. But it is St. Malachy, STMALACHY, Chicago.com. Really long email address because we have those as our email address as well. Or you can certainly call the school at 312-733-2252. And we are at 2252 West Washington Boulevard. That's how I can remember. Well, 28 years. I can remember the address and the phone number.
Yeah, that's a lot of rides in one direction to the same place, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we have just a couple more minutes, and I'm just wondering, is there any other tidbits or things that you would like to share with our listeners about St. Malachy as parents and others really think about whether they want to volunteer or donate or have their children come? What would you want to tell them?
We are always open doors, open arms. I think that says it on our first web when you open up the webpage. I would say anytime. We're happy to give tours. We have students actually that will do the tours. So if you have a preschooler, we'll help. But they'll walk you around the classroom and show you where the play center is or where the art supplies are, that type of thing. We're available, and we're really looking for preschooler. We have 2 preschool classrooms, and this year, I'm not really sure why, but we have pretty low enrollment. So we've got space for our 3 and 4-year-olds. They need to be 3 by August 30th.
Okay.
But we just enrolled like 2 this week. But we're looking to fill up those classes for next year.
And I just want to say that that's a program that's all day.
Yes.
And then you also have after school.
So our school opens at 6:30 in the morning. We have before care. There's breakfast that's served at 7:25. School starts at 8. We do a morning motivation every day. So we gather together as an entire school body. We pray together. We have our Team Tuesday. Tomorrow we'll be giving out those RAMS rewards for social emotional skills that the kids have earned. And then we put them up in the hallway. Yes, but we meet every morning, and then school's out at 3:15, and there's aftercare that goes till 5:30. So some of our students are there for 11 hours a day. It's a long time. It's a long time, but we're open.
Yeah.
And it's safe.
Yeah, no, and you're providing a very important element of young people seeing that there are other adults in the world that are safe and that they can go to, because you're created a circle of support for the kids and the parents and really all these partners. We're all learning about each other, so that's what makes it pretty special. I think to sort of wrap things up, if maybe one of you could just say again your website and phone number. Do you want to take it this time?
Yes. It's www.stmalachychicago.com. The phone number is 312-733-2522.
2252.
2252.
2252.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was going to do that.
Yeah, and again, St. Malachy is an elementary school on West Washington Boulevard. It is something to consider when you're thinking about a good education for your children, and also if you're in a place where you want to donate some time. There are regulations around that and so forth, but I know that our little ones need a lot of support, as you mentioned, and so that one-on-one attention that some kids can get can really kind of move the needle and really make a big difference. So we really just thank you both for
Thank you.
making this a special day for Maryville Connects, as we really embrace the idea that there's just so many wonderful organizations and schools in the city of Chicago that we really all need to know about and support, because they are our future, and we want to embrace the fact that our city of Chicago needs future leaders, and St. Malachy is going to help us build that up. And so, thank you both so much for your time. And I don't know what's is there a cheer that St. Malachy does in the end?
We are awesome. We do a cheer, but we
won't do the cheer. But I in our last minute here, seriously, I would say that if there was one thing that a parent should consider, other than what we've talked about, is there anything else that you would add, or a question, just quickly, if you could think of something that a parent should really think about, other than the safety? Is there any questions or things that they should consider when they walk into the school?
I think that education can be life-changing, and I think that's important for parents to know.
Yeah. Anything else, Sue, to that?
I think you just want to have a school where your child is going to feel loved and safe. As our mission says, we're a collaboration of love, where each student is enriched spiritually,
yes, respected
socially, and what's the last one? Thank you.
Good luck. Challenged academically.
Yes, academics. Yes, for sure. And I think St. Malachy is that place.
Yeah, so again, we are just grateful that you've joined us for this evening's show, and please take a look at St. Malachy here in Chicago, and we just hope you have a very good evening, and thank you both very much for being here today.